Hey, hello, and welcome back. In video 2.1, we examined the famous argument by Aristotle to show that Socrates was mortal. However, Socrates himself might have disagreed here with Aristotle, who proposed this argument. He was a firm believer in the immortality of the human soul, even when he was facing the death sentence. So, if you're interested in these Greek philosophers, you can read, for example, this book. It's called Socrates' Defense by Plato. If you're interested in finding out what was going on with these ancient Greek philosophers. So Socrates believed that only the body dies, but that's not what truly makes us human. So he did not disagree with the premise that he himself was a man, but he did disagree with the premise that all men are mortal. You might remember from video 2.1 that arguments have to be logically valid. But in a sound argument, all the premises have to be true as well. This means it's very well possible that an argument is logically valid, but it can still be unsound if one of the premises is false. So if you seek to refute a logically valid argument, you should point out the premise with which you disagree and give a counter-argument. Here we have the original argument by Aristotle, again summarized in mind map. 2 premises, 1 conclusion. It's logically valid. So to summarize the critique that Socrates could possibly have of this argument is as follows. If men are immortal souls, then not all men are mortal. Like this. Combined with the premise men are immortal souls, like this. And we can also directly use this in a counter-argument against the conclusion. So if Socrates is an immortal soul, then he is not mortal. And here we have it. And of course, Socrates believed Socrates is an immortal soul. So as we can see, this is a counter-argument against the only argument produced in this case by Aristotle to defend the claim that Socrates is mortal. By showing that the premise all men are mortal is false, the argument has been refuted. And by directly countering the conclusion, this would make this claim totally debunked. If this is a good counter-argument, then Aristotle's famous argument has been refuted. A refuted argument is shown to be unsound, and therefore you cannot use it anymore to rationally defend your claims. But what do you think about this counter-argument? Is it valid? Is it sound? Which premise would you attack if you disagreed with Socrates here? So to summarize, if we want to be critical thinkers, we need to be able to identify the flaws in arguments. There are 2 ways to refute an argument. Show it is invalid by coming up with a counterexample to the conclusion. This is the best approach if you believe the premises of an argument are true, but the conclusion false. Or you can show one of the premises to be false. And this is the best approach if you're dealing with an argument that is logically valid, but you still believe the conclusion is false. And if you cannot find ways to refute an argument, maybe that's because the argument is very strong and the conclusion actually true. That's it for now. See you next time.